The world was allegedly supposed to end on December 21st, 2012 with a global apocalypse. Fortunately, we're still here and this didn't happen as depicted. As the Maya predicted, this is a new era of consciousness, one marked by compassion, peace, connection, and nature. To follow are 11 trends of 2013 that indicate the emergence of feminine consciousness. 1. Women are emerging to lead the way.
Children. What about the health of the earth? What about the health of the society? What about the health of the air? What about the health of the water? There's no room for conscience. I am officially a candidate for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, California District 33.
Let us take a stand, speak out, and take action to end violence against women and girls. 2.
A government for the people. Gallup poll asked, what do you think is the most important problem facing our country today? 21% responded with dissatisfaction with the government. As a former president once said some 30 years ago,
government is not the solution to our problem.
3. People are questioning media.
The financial industry's influence on who's rich and who's not. Why wouldn't that get extensive news coverage? In our third story, after 5 straight days of sit-ins, marches, and shouting, and some arrests, actual North American newspaper coverage of this, even by those who have thought it farce or failure, has been limited to one blurb in a free newspaper in Manhattan and a column in the Toronto Star.
Real news with questions, delivered in a way without spin, that matters to us and benefits us all. 4. More people are turning to alternative news. RT. Question more. Naturalnews.com. Real news, powered by the people. Natural. Activist Post. Interrupt your regularly scheduled programming. Ben Swan and Conscious Life News, among many more.
I think journalism can be about even more. To me, it should be a profession based around integrity. At the end of the day, if adherence to moral and ethical principles is not part and parcel in how we receive our information, where does that leave us?
5. Whistles are being blown. Individuals like Snowden and Manning, among others, are taking a stand to allow people to decide for themselves, making us aware of information.
Bradley Manning told the informants, hey, listen, man, I thought there was an important debate that the country needed to have, and I had this information, and it would be wrong not to share it with the country.
I believe that if the general public, especially the American public, had access to the information contained within the Sidian Ides and the A tables, this could spark a domestic debate on the role of the military and our foreign policy in general, as well as it related to Iraq and Afghanistan.
So his real intent was to have the American people find out what their government was doing so they could have a debate about it, so they could be informed enough to have a realistic conversation about what we're doing in Iraq and Afghanistan. Well, that would be the textbook definition of a whistleblower.
But over time, that awareness of wrongdoing sort of builds up, and you feel compelled to talk about it. And the more you talk about it, the more you're ignored, the more you're told it's not a problem, until eventually you realize that these things need to be determined by the public, by the story. This is the truth. This is what's happening. You should decide whether we need to be doing this.
6. Calling for an end to the corruption of the banking industry.
What allowed Iceland, the first country to be hit by the global financial crisis, to also become one of the first to emerge from the dire straits.
The financial crisis has taught us this, that we cannot move forward on the assumption that whatever we do, democracy is going to be secure. That's not the case.
Thank you for watching the first 6 trends of 2013 indicating the emergence of feminine consciousness. Yes, we are still in challenging times, but hopefully this sheds some hope that we are still shaking things up and moving towards more connection, more compassion, peace, and harmony with nature. Stay tuned for the remaining of 11 are to follow. Have a happy new year.